Yo, what's up everybody? It's Mizan and let's get right into it. We're talking Bangkok, a city that's like a delicious pad thai dish, a beautiful mess of flavours and textures. You've got your gleaming skyscrapers, your ancient temples, your bustling markets, and then you've got stuff. Yeah, Bangkok's got a weird side, like a weird side. We're talking giant three-headed elephants, David Beckham shrines, and buildings shaped like robots. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive headfirst into the 9 most unusual sights in Bangkok. If you thought you knew this city, think again.
First up, we're headed to the Erawan Museum in Samut Prakan, just outside of Bangkok. Now this place is home to a creature so massive, so magnificent, so utterly ridiculous, that it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about elephants. I'm talking, of course, about the three-headed elephant statue. This ain't your average elephant, people. This bad boy is 29 meters tall, weighs 250 tons, and is made entirely of copper. It's like someone took the phrase "go big or go home" and said, "Hold my Singa beer. Seriously, this thing is huge. Like, I'm talking bigger than your mama's meatloaf huge. You could probably fit a small village inside its belly." But wait, there's more. The inside of this giant elephant is actually a museum filled with intricate carvings, religious relics, and enough gold leaf to make King Midas jealous. It's like a fever dream you'd have after a night out in Bangkok's wildest clubs. So if you're looking for a truly unforgettable experience, the Erawan Museum is the place for you.
All right, folks, if you're squeamish, you might want to skip ahead, because things are about to get real weird. Welcome to the Bangkok Forensic Museum, a place where formaldehyde is king and nightmares are made. Located inside Siriraj Hospital, this museum is basically a cabinet of curiosities for all things morbid and macabre. Think jars upon jars of preserved organs, gruesome autopsy photos, and enough skeletons to make Hamlet jealous. They've got everything here, from deformed fetuses to the tools used in infamous murders. It's basically a crash course in everything your mother warned you not to look at. But hey, who needs sleep anyway, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, this place is not for everyone. But if you're fascinated by the darker side of life, or you just really love a good scare, then this is the place for you. Just, maybe don't plan on eating anything for a few hours afterwards.
Next up, we're headed to a temple that's dedicated to both Buddha and David Beckham. Yeah, you heard that right. Welcome to Wat Samphran, also known as the David Beckham Temple. Now, you might be wondering what a global football icon has to do with a centuries-old religion. Well, it turns out that back in 1998, a particularly devoted Beckham fan decided to add a little something extra to the temple's decor. And by little something extra, I mean a 30-centimeter statue of David Beckham, carved into a mural and holding up the altar like some kind of divine footballer. Apparently, the abbot was cool with it, and the rest, as they say, is history. Today, the David Beckham Temple is a popular spot for both devout Buddhists and die-hard football fans alike. So if you're looking for a unique blend of spirituality and sports fandom, this is the place for you.
Okay folks, get ready to have your minds blown, or at least mildly amused, because we're about to witness architecture at its most elephantine. That's right folks, it's the Elephant Tower. Located in the bustling Chatuchak district, this architectural marvel is exactly what it sounds like, a giant building shaped like an elephant. And not just any elephant, mind you, but a majestic, three-dimensional pachyderm with tusks, a trunk, and everything. The Elephant Tower is actually made up of 3 towers, each representing a different part of the elephant's anatomy. You've got Tower A, which is the body, Tower B, which is the head and trunk, and Tower C, which is the tusk. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle, only instead of fitting together perfectly, it forms a giant elephant.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the lair of a mythical beast, or at least a concrete approximation of one. Welcome to Wat Samphran, home to the giant dragon tower. Now, this ain't your average temple spire. This bad boy is a 17-story cylindrical tower, completely entwined by a massive, scaly dragon. And when I say massive, I mean massive. This dragon's head alone is visible from miles away. Legend has it that the dragon represents the path to enlightenment, with each level of the tower representing a different stage of spiritual development. Or maybe it's just a really cool-looking building. Whatever its meaning, there's no denying that the giant dragon tower is a sight to behold. It's like something out of a fantasy movie, only instead of fire and brimstone, you'll find peaceful monks and the scent of incense. So, if you're looking for a truly epic temple experience, Wat Samphran is the place for you.
Calling all robot enthusiasts, sci-fi nerds, and anyone who's ever wanted to live inside a giant mech. Get ready to geek out over the robot building. This architectural masterpiece, located in the Samphran district, is exactly what it sounds like. A building that looks like a giant robot. And not just any robot, mind you, but a sleek, futuristic automaton straight out of a 1980s anime. Built in 1986, the robot building was the brainchild of architect Sumit Yumsai, who was apparently inspired by his son's toy robot. And honestly, can you blame him? If I had the chance to design a building based on a toy, you better believe I'd jump at the opportunity. But the robot building isn't just a pretty face. Its design is actually quite functional. The oversized bolts and caterpillar wheels aren't just for show. They actually act as sunshades and canopies.
All right, thrill seekers and urban explorers, this one's for you. Get ready to step inside the eerie and fascinating world of the Samphran Unique Tower, also known as the Ghost Skyscraper. Now, this ain't your average abandoned building. This 50-story behemoth has been frozen in time since the 1997 Asian financial crisis, a haunting reminder of unfulfilled dreams and shattered ambitions. But what makes the Samphran Unique Tower truly captivating is its eerie beauty. Its unfinished facade, with its exposed concrete and rusted rebar, has a strange, almost post-apocalyptic charm. It's like something out of a dystopian novel. Only instead of mutants and radioactive wastelands, you'll find curious tourists and the occasional stray cat. Now I know what you're thinking. Mizan, are you sure it's safe to go poking around an abandoned skyscraper? And to that, I say, probably not. Calling all medical students, anatomy enthusiasts, and anyone who's ever wondered what's going on under their own skin. Get ready for a fascinating and slightly unnerving journey into the human body at the Museum of Human Body. Located inside Chulalongkorn University, this museum is home to a collection of 14 dissected human bodies, all meticulously preserved and displayed for educational purposes. Now I know what you're thinking. Mizan, that's just wrong. These bodies were donated to science, and the museum treats them with the utmost respect. Plus, it's not every day you get to see the inner workings of the human body up close and personal. From muscles and tendons to organs and bones, the Museum of Human Body offers a fascinating glimpse into the complexities of our physical forms. It's like a giant interactive anatomy textbook, only instead of diagrams and illustrations, you get the real deal. Get ready to enter a world of pure imagination and sensory overload, because we're about to step inside Papaya Studio Bangkok, a place where vintage toys, pop culture icons, and random knickknacks collide in a glorious explosion of kitsch. Imagine a warehouse the size of a football field, crammed floor to ceiling with everything from vintage pinball machines and life-size superhero statues to antique furniture and taxidermied animals. Now imagine that someone spiked the punch bowl with LSD, and you'll start to get an idea of what Papaya Studio is like. This place is a collector's paradise, a hoarder's dream, and a photographer's playground all rolled into one. It's like stepping into the mind of a mad genius. Only instead of being strapped to a table and subjected to bizarre experiments, you get to wander around and take selfies with a giant rubber chicken. Seriously, there's so much to see and do at Papaya Studio that you could easily spend an entire day here and still not see everything. It's like a museum, a flea market, and an amusement park all rolled into one. So there you have it, folks. 9 of the most unusual, bizarre, and downright wacky places you'll find in Bangkok. From giant elephants and robot buildings to ghost skyscrapers and David Beckham shrines, this city has something to shock, amaze, and amuse even the most jaded traveller. Now I know what you're thinking, Mizan. You've clearly lost your mind. There's no way these places are real. But I assure you, they're all 100% real, and they're just a small taste of the weird and wonderful things you'll find in this crazy city. So next time you're in Bangkok, ditch the tourist traps and venture off the beaten path. You never know what kind of bizarre and wonderful things you might find.